All right. We
Are we
are
live?
live. Yes.
Allison doesn't have any glasses on. 'Cause I realized I couldn't see anything. They're really messy. There's something about playing with a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old that you've always got like syrup on you in some places and such. So we are at Forbes and Sienna's house. Lindsay and Nolan are here as well. It is Forbes' 7th birthday weekend, so that's why we are here. They should be making an appearance at some point. I told Lindsay that I'll probably be fooling around a little bit, not being super crisp getting started, because I have 2 things I'm going to read. I've got Sandy and I've got an interview with Marty. So the show is going to be plenty long enough, but it will not be. But I will not be talking very long. But I think I hear someone at the door. Who's at the door? Oh, hi. Oh my goodness, hair done and everything. Hang on. Can I put Sienna up first? Well, you usually don't talk, but she talks to the audience. Let me put the headphones on. There you go. All right. Oh, Sienna. Okay, you just...
Hi.
Hello, Sienna. How are you today?
Ha ha ha.
Are you talking to her, Pip here? She can hear you.
Hello, Sienna.
Hana. Hi, baby.
Hello.
Hi, Pip here. Is he talking? Are you talking to her?
I'm saying a couple words.
Steve.
Steve.
Hey. Hey, Forbes.
Hi, Pippi.
Hey, grandson.
Forbes, happy birthday.
Hi, you. I'm gonna go over to Pippi.
Oh, he's going over to Pip your side. You want to talk to Forbes on the other side? You know how it goes when we're here. Oh, they added the names to the video so we can tell which is which. Oh, did he? Pip your locked him out. It's hard to see your face.
Yeah.
Let's turn this-
Hi. Wait, it's playing a replay. It's a replay
Very
right
good.
there.
No, that's live. Don't step on these.
Well, we aren't getting much done here.
This is just
What's your
the link.
name?
You want to say anything to the audience?
Who's that?
All right. If you're not going to say anything, you're out.
Are you leaving? You all done? Okay, say bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I think she's saying it. All right, bye-bye, Sienna. Good job. All right.
All right.
All right, I guess it's time for roll call, even though nobody called roll call, I don't believe. And let me slide things over here. We've got Seamus and Bruce and Frank and I always get lost when he says it's Marty, and Jill and John and Sandy and Michael and Steve and Sienna and Forbes.
Anyone we miss?
Okay, so you guys, we haven't told the audience about it yet. It's not going to be in the show this week yet, but remember when I had the interview with Andrea Ghez, the astrophysicist, and she talked about how SO2 was her favorite star because it orbits around the supermassive black hole in only 16 years, which meant they were able to take super accurate measurements as it went around and know a lot about the formation and everything. Well, I said to her during the interview, I said, well, do you have an SO2 shirt? And she goes, no, but there should be shirts. So Steve and I made shirts. This is SO2, the one in bright yellow, going through its little 16-year orbit. And this is a bunch of other stars. And they are available for sale. And because it is for science, we put them up with no profit at all. Steve just put the Cotton Bureau link in. You can buy them yourself. I think they're $25, $27, something like that.
Yes.
I prefer the Heather ones, or Tri-Blend. They're a little softer.
Yep.
Would you agree, Steve?
Yep. That's the one I like.
And for fit, we're actually both wearing mediums, but we're not very big people. Did I make that on my Cricut? No, I did not make it on my Cricut. We had it made at Cotton Bureau. So you guys are in the know when nobody else is. In fact, Andrea doesn't know yet. She's getting her shirt on Wednesday as a surprise. I've been working with her assistant, and she should get her shirt on Wednesday.
So only the live show people know about it right now. So don't tell Andrea.
Yeah, shh, it's a secret. Well, I think we've done mic check. We've done kid check. We've spilled the beans on the shirt. I'm on the
Yep.
phone with her now. Good job. All right. I guess we're ready to go.
I think so.
What have I got in my teeth? Something. All right. Let me slide Discord over so I can see that. You know, it's anytime I'm talking to you guys, I'm actually got my head like this because you guys are over on the wrong monitor just because of display sizes here. All right. I think I heard the air conditioning kick in. Wonder, does that sound pretty loud to you guys? I am hearing that pretty loud. Let me see something. I'm going to just set record and see whether I can hear it. Actually, let's try that again. Hang on. Nope.
115. Ooh.
Nope. The air conditioning sound does not appear to be coming through. Okay. I'm in the same AC house. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and go. We'll find out what happens. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Friday, July 14th, 2023, and this is show number 949. Well, we are here at Lindsay and Nolan's house because it's Forbes' 7th birthday weekend. So Forbes and Sienna have made their usual appearance for the live show. Just another one of the reasons you should come to the live show is to see a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old take over the microphones. I'm sure you're really glad you missed it. I mean, sad you missed it. Anyway, let's see. Next week is MacStock. So there will be no live show on July 23rd. Okay? No live show. I'm not sure yet if I'll be able to get the show out super early on Wednesday of this week or super late on Tuesday of the following week. I'm going to try for Wednesday, but I'm not making any promises. But in any case, there will be no live show while we're in Chicago. We will be live. We just won't be here. We'll be in Chicago enjoying MacStock. So don't look for that next week. I rambled a lot on that one. I will verify that they're live. Bruce is going to be there, and Jill is going to be there. John is going to be there. Is Brett in the audience here?
I thought I saw him earlier. Maybe not. Wasn't Brett here earlier?
Was he?
Marty will be here.
Oh, and Marty too. That's right. And yeah, Bruce, we're going to have to talk in person about your problems with your solar or questions with your solar and your batteries, because we aren't smart enough to figure out what you meant from the text message. Okay. I did do a chapter mark. Nobody's even giving me chapter marks. I'm having to do all this on my own.
Well, without Kevin and Rick, I don't know who stands in.
I don't know.
I guess it's me.
Maybe. All right. Let's see. Okay. I did do a chapter mark. If anybody notices I forget a chapter mark, let me know. Take a drink of water here. I wish I was doing this review while I was at home, but to show you the picture of this, or to show you what this thing looks like, but it's a pretty cool little gadget. All right. Do you have any cables dangling? I shouldn't have been drinking water. That's my mistake. Do you have any cables dangling off of your desk or maybe your bedside table or where you watch TV at night? I'm just guessing that you probably do. These cables are dangling around waiting for when you need them. I'm guessing you've tried a lot of different methods to keep them accessible and not look messy and keep them from falling back behind your desk or your table or your bed. I'm not sure I found the best method, but I found an attractive product that is helping keep my cables accessible on my desk. It's called the Smartish Cable Wrangler. The Cable Wrangler is a small 3x3 by 1.25 inch block, and it weighs 181 grams or 6.4 ounces if you use Freedom units. That doesn't sound like it's very heavy, but since it's very small, that's actually very, very dense. The bottom of the Cable Wrangler is rubber, so between the density and that grippy bottom, it won't easily move around on your chosen surface. Now, the trick of the Cable Wrangler is that the top of it is magnetic, And it turns out most cable connectors include metals containing iron, which means they'll stick. So you simply drape your cables off the table and then bring the connector back up to the cable wrangler and gently set it down, and they stick. Now, by my description so far, you're probably picturing an ugly magnet sitting on my desk. Well, the cable wrangler is actually really good looking because it has a woven kind of tweedy fabric cover that comes in boring number 2 pencil gray, lightly toasted beige, teal me more, or I'm blushing, a lovely pink that I chose. The shape is a little harder to describe. Imagine a pyramid with the top chopped off, but chopped off at a gentle slope. So this gentle slope lets the cables dangle at kind of a nice angle. I said that most cable connectors are magnetic. If you have one or two cables that aren't, Smartish includes 2 little sleeves to attach to your cables that are magnetic, so all of your cables can play along. Now, all of the cables I've tested so far are magnetic and easily pull off when I need them. I have a MagSafe connector for my MacBook Air that I keep beside my desk, and that cable sticks really well. In fact, a little too well. I have to give it a pretty hard tug to pull it off, and the cable wrangler budges a little bit. So I actually put one of the magnetic clip things on it so that I wouldn't use the MagSafe connector to hold it because it was a little too strong. Now, the cable wrangler sells for $30 and will easily hold 3 cables for easy access. If you need more than 3 cables, or maybe some of yours come with big connectors, Smartish sell the bigger cable wrangler for $40, which looks to be maybe like a third wider than the regular cable wrangler. I'm really happy with my cable wrangler because it's pretty, it doesn't take up much space, and it holds my cables within easy reach, and I know they'll always be there waiting for me. Check out the cable wrangler and bigger cable wrangler at smartish.com. Accidentally biggened the size of this window when I didn't mean to.
Did you cut that off prematurely?
No,
Okay.
that was some slop. Let's see. At smartish.com. See?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, chapter mark. And go back here and close that. And then back here. All right, it's time for Sandy Foster.
Yay, Sandy!
Isn't that a cute little device? If you need more than 3 cables for this therapy. Now, do you want it to be all USB-C, or is that a sigh of exhaustion? Jill. Looks like something Sandy would like. All right. Remind me when Sandy's done talking, I have a little addendum to what Sandy wrote. Sandy is here. Wrangler at smartish.com.
Hi, this is Sandy Foster.
Actually, I'm going to shrink her in a little bit. Wrangler at smartish.com.
Hi, this is Sandy Foster. I saw the 3-in-1 foldable wireless charger advertised on the Macworld site a few months ago, and I thought it might alleviate a problem. What's the problem to be solved, you ask? It's simply that I'm really tired of having to pack a variety of different cords and plugs, not to mention adapters for foreign lands, when I go anywhere. Add to that the mess of cables on whatever flat surface I can find for charging my iPhone, my Apple Watch, my AirPods Pro, and my iPad. So if I can charge 3 of those via one cable, it's a win. The 3-in-1 foldable wireless charger in either black or white isn't exactly cheap, even when it's on sale as it currently is at $45. The normal price is $60. But I figured it was worth a try. The single cable is USB-C to the device and USB-A to your own wall plug. The whole thing folds up into a square approximately 3 inches by 3 inches by 7/8 inches. Unfolding the device gives 3 charging areas, including a MagSafe for the iPhone, another area for the AirPods, and a center one for the watch. This last one has a built-in plug that can lie flat or be raised so that the nightstand mode can be used on the watch. One other feature is that it can fold into a pyramid with two sides exposed for a different way to charge and view a device at the same time. My husband and I recently traveled to Europe, and this charger worked as advertised, so I'm happy. I didn't actually leave any of my cables behind this time, though. I wasn't truly convinced that things would work as planned, so I decided on a belt and suspenders approach and took everything. However, that won't happen again. I'm already taking some of my cables and plugs out of my travel case.
There we go. Okay, so you think it was to... Let's see. Oh, you were just being Steve? Your cable wrangler at smartish.com.
Hi, this is Sandy Foster.
Actually, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to undo a change I added there. At smartish.com.
Hi, this is Sandy.
There, that's better. Okay, and I'm going to start recording here.
Already taking some of my cables and plugs out of my travel case.
Well, that's pretty cool, Sandy. I really like that. Anything that can eliminate some of all the junk that we have to carry along, that's for sure. Now, I noticed that Sandy never said the name of the company that makes the 3-in-1 foldable wireless charger, and I figured out why. As she mentioned, she found it on the Macworld website, and you have to read very carefully to find the teeny tiny text that says it's made by a company named TechZebra. Well, I looked for a direct link to the TechZebra website, but they evidently only sell through third parties. She found it on the Macworld site, so that was the perfect link for her to use in her blog post. All right. Oh, yeah, they definitely are all about the MagSafe. Let's see, close that one, and then what's next? Oh, it's me again. Oh, Steve.
What?
You know, you could go get this next one. That's a show
let
and
me-
tell.
Yeah, it might take a couple minutes.
Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, then we can talk about him behind his back. We happen to have this next device with us. Ucomax. You know, the company... I had one of those from... Oh, the same company that made shower power, Ampere. Ampere made one. They had it on a Kickstarter, and I had one of those. I forget why we stopped using it, though. I can't remember. I don't know whether I think, the big deal was the AirPods was one of the 3 things. Oh, and it also didn't fold up into a triangle in the right shape. It folded up so that you could only use 2 of the 3 things. So, I don't know. There was some reason we were not smart enough to use it, so... Anyway, let's see. Where is this? This is the next one. Okay. Should I wait for Steve to come back? I think I should. Not tempted by cameras in the phones. There's been a heck of a lot to tempt me. Oh, really? I guess you're all about the big boy camera, right, Alistair? I don't know. Man. My big girl camera doesn't get to go on many trips these days. It goes on my big trips. So, you know, getting the close-ups of the penguins and the puffins and such. But I used to bring it down to Lindsay's house. But, man, every time I need to take a photo, my phone does a better job. So, what do you do, Yosemite? Yeah. Oh, you're still rocking the XR, Kurt. Is that still supported? What is that, Jeff? What are you doing over there? Oh, okay. That's a good GIF. That's a good GIF. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, are you back, Steve?
I'm back.
Yeah, but you didn't bring it to me.
Oh, I was going to show it.
Oh, you are.
Oh,
Okay.
do you want to show it?
No, you can do it, but you have to follow along, pay attention, and show the parts that I'm saying. No, seriously.
Oh no, there's a test. Hopefully it works. It's very hot right now.
Oh, is it? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but Kurt, I would check and see. Are you sure the XR is getting security updates? I thought it was not. For some reason, I thought the XR didn't make the cut. All right. So, Steve, you need to go on big screen so you can show off the product.
Well, we could just do this.
Okay. You don't want to be full screen? That's just too
Well,
much, Steve?
Let's see. But that way, if you want to say anything, we can't hear you if I take you off screen.
Oh, I
With
think you should
StreamYard.
be able to hear me. That would be good.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it does get iOS 16, but it may not get 17.
Oh, wait. Before you go, let me get the link out up there.
We have plenty of time to fool around. This is the only other thing I'm reading, and it's an interview. Oh, well,
Oh.
now they're all going to see what it is.
Shoot.
Hold it up. Hold it up.
Hold on.
What do you do? Why do you have to do anything? Okay, here we go. All right, he's going to do his Carol Merrill impression. Ask your parents if you don't know who that is. Carol Merrill with the beard. Here we
I
go.
feel like I need high heels.
Here we go. One of the things it's easy to get obsessed with is finding the perfect flashlight. It's this never-ending game because there isn't a perfect flashlight, and because even if there was, not every flashlight is perfect for all situations. Even if you do find a perfect flashlight, since you don't need it all the time, invariably at some point, you'll go back to it and the batteries will have leaked all over the place and corroded everything, and you have to throw it away. That very thing happened to Steve this week, and he went on the hunt for a new product. Okay, I have to stop recording because... Actually, it stopped. Steve, all I'm seeing is the top of your head and flashing lights.
Okay. I'm just playing with it.
I know, don't. You are on camera now, okay? Oh, God. Seriously, if anyone has trouble with flashing lights, warn us, because I had trouble. I tried to take a photograph of it with its lights blinking, and I started to feel a little bit ill. All right, I'm going to go on take 2. My
The
assistant
pressure is on.
Come on. Here we go. One of the things it's easy to get obsessed with is finding the perfect flashlight. It's a never-ending game because there isn't a perfect flashlight, and because even if there was, not every flashlight is perfect for all situations. Even if you do find a perfect flashlight, since you don't need it all the time, invariably at some point you'll go back to it and the batteries will have leaked all over the place and corroded everything, and you have to throw it away. That very thing happened to Steve this week, and he went on the hunt for a new perfect emergency flashlight to keep in the car. I'm not sure he found the perfect one, but the one he's found has a lot of capabilities and also shouldn't leak battery fluid into itself. The one he found is called the Spurtar solar-powered flashlight, and he found it on Amazon. The Spurtar is designed as an emergency device to keep in your car. It has one single button to control all of its functions, and the light performs in 3 distinctly different ways. In the primary mode, one press turns on the flashlight, which is a 300 lumen LED, and a second press dims that light. A third press, and the flashlight goes into a rapid blinking mode. You can imagine, stranded on the side of the road, that this very bright blinking light might be a good way to catch a driver's attention, that maybe you could use some assistance. If you hold down the button, it changes mode. The Spurtar is around 8 inches long and less than 2 inches in diameter, like 3.5 inches for the head. The side of the flashlight is an LED light panel. This long press of the button switches to the light panel and turns it on full blast in white light. Now imagine you're trying to change a tire and you want to make sure you don't lose any of the lug nuts. The light can stand upright and provide a large area of light. Just like the primary light, a second press will make the LED panel dim to around half power. Unlike the primary light, it doesn't have a blinky white mode. However, a third long press turns the LED light panel red in one of 2 blinky modes, fast and slow. This would be the ideal mode for letting drivers know that you're on the side of the road, maybe you need assistance, or at least not be run over while you're changing that tire. Now, it turns out you don't have to manually cycle through all of these modes one by one to get to the one you want. A 2-second press and hold cycles from primary light to white LED light to blinking red LED, and when you let go, you can cycle through the modes within that light. Now, I tried to take some photos of the Spurtar in the LED modes, and it was so bright it was blinding me, and the blinking red actually made me feel a little bit ill. I think that's a good enough testament to how bright this emergency light is. But wait, that's not all the Spurtar light can do. It's got a big, pointy metal punch on the side to break the glass in case you're trapped inside your car. And on the opposite side, it's got a seatbelt cutter. On the tail end, it's got a compass and a tether for the flashlight. You can unscrew the compass end, and at that point, the Spurtar, you realize, is actually one 2,000 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. So when you remove the compass, you see a micro USB charger connector to recharge the light. But you also get a USB-A connector to charge smaller devices like phones. There's a red LED in there too that lights up when you're charging. Blinking means it's charging, and solid means it's done charging. The instructions also say that if the LED goes out altogether, that means the Spurtar has gone into protection mode and won't operate until you charge it. Not only is this not going to have leaky batteries, modern cars have USB charging for your devices, so you could recharge the light directly from your car. It's more environmentally responsible to use a rechargeable light as well. They say it'll take 3 to 4 hours to fully charge the Spurtar battery using USB. Using USB, I should say. No, why did... That sounded bad. They say... Come on. Why? Oh, you're still playing. That's what's operate until you charge it. Not only, where's not only, there it is. Okay. Not only is this not going to have leaky batteries, modern cars have USB charging for your devices, so you could actually recharge the light directly from your car. It's also more environmentally responsible to use a rechargeable light. They say it'll take like 3 to 4 hours to fully charge the Spurtar battery using USB. Now, I said earlier that the entire side of the Spurtar flashlight is an LED light panel, but that's not actually true. It's actually 3 rows of LEDs separated by small monocrystalline silicon solar panels, and all of that is protected by a cylindrical plastic cover. They say you can recharge the Spurtar with solar power in a snappy 30 to 40 hours. So maybe not a good emergency solution, but when you're planning ahead, you could just leave it outside for a couple of days to charge it out and use no power at all. Steve and I were originally very confused by the teeny green LED on the solar panel area. We'd see it on, but then it would go out when we moved the flashlight. Lots of experiments later, and we discovered that the light is indicating that it's charging from the sun or even ambient indoor lights. When we were moving it, our hands were covering up the solar panels, and that's why the little green light went out. The final trick of the Spurtar flashlight is as a strong neodymium magnet on the side. Their ad says this is so you can stick it to the car while you're changing that tire. Well, it would have to be a pretty big emergency for me to even consider damaging the finish on my car, but I suppose that could be useful for people who don't care so much. The only thing the Spurtar doesn't do is allow you to focus the primary light by twisting the end ring. The light is a medium-wide spray of dimmer light with a very bright center, which is kind of the best compromise they could have done. I also wish it was USB-C instead of micro USB, especially since it says USB-C on the side of the box. Amazon at the time of this writing sell a pair of Spurtar solar-powered flashlights for $28 or $20 for one. If you've been looking for the perfect emergency light for your car that's versatile and could handle a lot of situations, the Spurtar might just meet those needs.
Well, that's a lot of pressure.
Whew. You did, yeah. Oh my gosh. I had a hard time, Lindsay, keeping a straight face as I watched him go. Like when you went to the head and went, that it wouldn't work. That was hilarious. The one thing I didn't take into account is I forgot when you are not on camera, that's what makes you not make noise to my ears. But luckily it was mostly things like clicking and blinking.
Yeah, but that doesn't go into the recording, right?
What was it? No. Steve should have used Photoshop to alter the registration number. Oh, no, somebody else. Uh-oh.
Well, want me to
They're
take that
tucking
down?
Planes. No, they're tucking planes. Oh, that is awful. Yikes. Oh, that's the down under joke. Nice, Kurt. John, you're slipping that Kurt got to that first. Okay, let me close that one. And I think it is time for support the show. We have no blog post for this. Okay. Here we go. And we're getting close. Yeah, we are definitely getting out of class really early today. Whoops. Last week during the live show, something awesome happened. Wabbit Magic joined in the fun for the very first time. Now, that's not the awesome part, but I mean, it was one awesome part. But the other awesome part was that they signed up to become the newest patron of the Podfeed podcast right while we were recording the live show. I mean, come on, that's seriously awesome, right? I learned a second awesome thing from the live audience during the show last week. Did you know that Patreon now takes Apple Pay? If you'd like to be awesome like Wabbit Magic, join in the fun of the live show and head over to podfeed.com/Patreon and support and pledge your support for the show. All right. So the title is just going to be Marty Gensius on the Pixel Fold, no blog post. You know, he did give me photos, but I didn't. Whoops. I hope he's not going to be sad. He didn't give me a written blog post, so he gave me a bunch of photos, but that's what's going to happen. Marty, where are you? Okay. Go. Marty's here. Oh, yeah. So, Marty, yeah, you gave me the photos, but I just never... I kept going back to the notes, and I didn't find a time to be creative to make it into a blog post. So I'm sorry, but the pictures are cool. You could post the pictures while we're listening to some of this. We probably won't listen to the whole thing, but let's listen for a little bit here and support and pledge your support for the show. Well, I'd like to invite onto the show for the first time someone who is commonly known in our chat room for the live NosillaCast as Drunk Nick Nolte, sometimes Headley Lamar, and sometimes Hulk Smash. So welcome to the show, Marty Gensius.
I just like to keep changing personalities to throw you off in the chat room. Thanks for having me here. This started as a side conversation about, hey, guess what I got? And then you've invited me on to talk about the Pixel Fold.
Yeah. No, I recall, I get the names mixed up, especially since people like you go by 4 different names and I have to keep track of all of those. But are you the person who said that you don't drink, you don't smoke, and your wife, and you don't fool around, so your wife's okay if you spend money on everything? Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, this is my one vice. And she's been very good about it. She turns her head. And that's great.
Okay.
But everything else is clean, sober, straight, kind of boring life. But the technology piece is where the money goes.
There you go. Well, we can respect that as a good choice. Now, as silly as I've made you sound, you're actually an associate professor of counselor education. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have for the last 26 years been training students at the graduate level how to be counselors or how to be faculty to train counselors, and have been at Kent State for the last 23 years.
Okay. Now,
My interest in technology is that was sort of the thing I started writing about. And so I've been chasing that tiger in terms of our profession and doing different types of initiatives. So it allows me to spend money and get new toys.
We're all looking for the justification, right? Now, you also create a podcast. Is that right?
Yep.
And that's
I've
called
done some podcasts. I've done some podcasts
Firing
in the past. One is I did Counselor Audio Source for a while and then stopped that. But currently I'm doing Circular Firing Squad, which is questions and answers about life questions and counseling questions to a panel of counselor educators and practicing counselors. And we have a lot of fun with it. And I say it's a direct ripoff of Clockwise.
Oh, okay.
But with more of the academic and counseling background.
Right. It's a pretty cool podcast. It's in an interesting format and interesting subjects, things I definitely didn't know anything about before I started listening. Now, there was something else I was going to ask you on your background. Well, let's go back in time just a little bit. You come back from, you're punch card day person like me?
Yeah. was an undergraduate at the time at University of Illinois in Champaign, and was volunteering to work in a lab, and they had me do punch cards over at the place where they, according to 2001, created HAL the computer at the I forget what, Searle is what we called it. And so yeah, I go back to punch card days and Atari computers and writing basic computer, copying basic computer codes, and have been a hobbyist for a long time, and then kind of turned it into an academic piece in my field.
And then at some point you turned over to switching to the Mac, and you've been an iPhone user for a long time. So what possessed you to go to an Android phone?
Well,
I shouldn't say it so
work on a grant-
sarcastically. Why did that sound fun?
And I avoided it for a long time only because I really like the Apple ecosystem. I switched from a Windows to an Apple ecosystem back in around 2004. What the motivation was, wanting to create, I don't know if you remember these enhanced podcasts that they did. Because I thought, oh, I can put pictures in this. It can be a learning piece. So I can put my lectures on with slides and students can use it. So I had to make the switch then and did, and have been with the Apple ecosystem. The Pixel and Android phone came because I've been working on a grant over the years that brings foreign secondary teachers to the U.S. to spend 6 to 15 weeks with us at Kent State.
Oh.
And when they get here, we get them Android phones, but I never learned the ecosystem.
So why wouldn't they just bring their phones with them?
Well, because the problems with keeping up with everybody, at times some of them didn't have cell phones from where they were coming.
Okay.
So we tried to get them on the same system in the same unit, and some of them bring their cell phones now, and they still do that. We still do that, and we use WhatsApp as a communicator.
Mhm.
But we're distributing Android phones for them for temporary use, and I didn't know the ecosystem, and so I thought maybe I should start to learn it.
I think it's really fun to play around with. I've bought a couple of Android phones myself. Unfortunately, as fast as I can buy them and start using them, Google stopped supporting the operating system on them. So I have to throw them in the bin, or I can't look Bart in the face. And so I've got a second one here that I'm afraid to let on the internets because it's not getting updates. So you started with a different phone than the Fold. You started with a different Android phone?
Yeah, I had two phones. I had a iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I decided this is heavy, this is cumbersome. If I travel to another country, I don't want it stolen or lost. So I bought an SE.
Oh.
And I thought that would be a phone that I can move around without too much trouble, and a separate number for the SE. And I wasn't using it here. So I got an offer from Google to upgrade, or they take my old phone, and I got a Pixel 7 sometime in April, and then went through the effort of setting it up, which the first one is always the toughest. I found that out.
Sure.
And getting used to it took some time to get used to. And then I just couldn't resist the Fold when it came out. Not because I was wild about the operating system, but I was really interested in the technology.
Yeah, so I
and what
haven't
it's
gotten
like.
to the point where I can understand. I am not a visionary. I am the person that you should listen to last on what the future of technology is. And I've well established that point. And so, but I look at at folding phones, and I don't get what problem they solve. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because you come from my world, and maybe you can see something in a folding phone that would apply in my world. And that's kind of what I'm hoping to learn about. So the Pixel Fold is a folding phone. Which way does it fold? Does it fold like an old StarTAC, like folding your fingers down towards your palm, or does it do more like a book?
It folds more like a book. However, once the book's open, you can flip it on its side and you'll have a little bit different of an operating experience from it. But it really is, they call it, it's about the size of a passport. So if you want to know what it feels like, if you don't have one, get your passport out and that's it. That is how it is. And it opens up to that size. And again, I was using it in that portrait mode for a long period of time, and then started switching to use it in the switching it so it's on its side when it's open, and found that it changed some things, like in the open portion of the just opening it like a book. Some of the apps were letterboxed with a lot of space around it, but as soon as I flipped it, it filled the whole screen.
So if you did it where it would flip, say, fingertips towards palm, we'll call that portrait mode. If you were in the portrait mode, they would fill the screen. But if you turned it sideways like a book, that's when it had letterbox on the sides.
When you opened it like a book, an app like Twitter, if you wanted to use that, would have a lot of space on the side.
Okay.
But if you then turned it so it was more like a clamshell folding phone, it would then fill the whole screen. And enlarge it. So
I guess that makes sense. And the developers would have to start writing, like, I know one of the reasons the iOS works as well as it does across all the different phones and tablets and everything is because Apple has written APIs that let things float appropriately. So each developer doesn't have to say, okay, I'm going to write a version for the SE and I'm going to make one for the 7 and one for the 8 and one for the 14 Pro Max. They don't have to do that. But it sounds like that kind of flexible design or responsive design doesn't maybe exist yet in Android, at least as it applies to this. Cliffhanger. You're not going to know what happens next unless you listen to Marty.
Oh, tease.
Definite tease. All right. Oh, finally.
Good job,
Kevin's
Marty.
Here for chapter marks, but we already did all the chapter marks. I had to do it on my own.
Lindsay's on the edge of her seat.
All right, let me listen to the very end of this. In the live chat room on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Thanks.
Let's see. That thanks was kind of weak there. Let's hear this. Perfect topic. It didn't sound like it was all doom and gloom. It was like how to bend it to your will and have it help you, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Marty. We will see you no matter what name you're under in the live chat room on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I will actually cut it off before the thanks because I think he thought I was done. All right. So there's a 47-minute show thanks to Marty. That was really fun talking to Marty. Let's see. You think I should cut it? Okay, good. I think so too. All right, let's move this over here. Hey, you didn't show him any more photos. Drop in the rest of them. Oh, the last part? Oh, I forget what we were talking about. Let's see.
As I think it will probably be the next iPhone that comes out.
Okay.
I will upgrade my iPhone and then I'll trade them both in and be safely tucked back into the iPhone, the Apple ecosystem.
So if the newest phone came out in two models, one was a folding form factor and one was just a flat slab of glass, you like the folding enough that you would go to the fold?
Yeah, I would.
Not just for experimenting, but because you really like it.
Not just because I like the form factor, particularly this phone. I mean, if they were to do something like this phone, it's not as heavy as you think. It's
right.
thinner than you think. And its functionality is pretty slick. It's pretty quick. So
that's good to know. I'm a self-avowed
I don't think I should cut
lack
this
of
out, Marty.
visionary, so it's fun to hear.
Thanks. Oh, okay. I'm reading back going, wait, what is he talking about?
The asynchronous is hard. Okay. All right. I am going to do our outro here. Okay. Got it. Oh, okay. Kurt did notice that there was no outro. All right. Here we go. Oops. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeet.com anytime you like? If you have a question or a suggestion, just send it on over. In fact, if you have content for the show to help me out over the next month and a half or so, I could use as many reviews as you guys can send me. Anyway, you could follow me on Mastodon at Podfeet at chaos.social. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. If you want to join the fun and the conversation, you can join our Slack community at podfeet.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely Nosilla castaways, including Marty. He's very active over there and he's a lot of fun. You can support the show at podfeet.com/Patreon, like Wabbit Magic, or with a one-time donation at podfeet.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, you're going to have to wait till July 30th because there will not be a live show next week. When July 30th rolls around, head on over to podfeet.com/live on Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Here we go. And some outro music. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Podfeet.
That looks about right. Castaways, thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Can leave the calendar reminder active. Don't want to accidentally delete the whole thing and forget to show up. All right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chapters, Kevin. How many do you have, Steve?
Let me check that.
Uh-oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. I thought Marty wasn't. Oh, is Marty a chapter mark, but not a
Sure.
blog post? Okay,
Sure.
5. Yeah.
Well, so Marty can,
So they
tell all
can
of his
zip right to
friends
Marty in the
to
podcast.
go right to Marty, right?
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right.
Great. All right. Well, I think I'm going to export the show and let class out early today.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else anybody wants us to cover. I think we've covered it all. Oh, did I say out a Rose? Did we see Rose here?
No, I don't think Rose is here tonight.
Oh.
We could sign off with
Hi,
this.
Rose. Sign off with a blinky light.
Or-
There you go. That's good stuff.
The slow blink.
All right. Well, unless I think that is it.
We have some grandkids to go see.
We do. And some dinner to eat and some, maybe a gin and tonic would be in order next while I'm getting ready to go. All right, everybody. Thanks for indulging us with the grandkids. All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night, chat room. Thanks for joining.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Hope you find your dad.